Basketball is our next stop. Could we be heading towards a Hollywood sequel? Could they remake what was the biggest flop in the sport? According to Yahoo Sports, the Lakers' big three of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook recently huddled for a phone conversation to confirm their commitment to each other through the uncertainty. That's a heck of a sentence with which to begin a conversation. Zach Lowe is there, and Nick Friedell is here. Nick, big picture, what is your reaction to the idea that these three guys got on the phone, if indeed this is the case, and said, let's figure out a way to make this work?
Good luck. I mean, Greedy, I saw this and I went, really? This feels like the NBA's version of the alliance in college football. Hey, we're together, we're together. Oh, it doesn't work anymore? All right. We're trying to trade Russell Westbrook. I'm out of here. This whole thing feels like it was a nice storyline for three guys who already know that this doesn't work together. To think that they're going to run it back if they can't move Westbrook right now and have a lot of success next season seems laughable at this point, given what we saw a year ago.
So Zach, when I see this news yesterday on Twitter, this report, my first reaction is, does this mean they have some information that Kyrie isn't coming? I'm sure a lot of people took it that way. What is your sense of the Kyrie of it all if these three guys are now talking about how they can make it work?
I don't think there's any information to be had. Kyrie Irving's not there. There is no trade. I'm not even sure how far along the two teams have gotten. More to the point, the Brooklyn Nets, who are actually the biggest flop of last season, the Lakers are the second biggest flop. Let's be clear in our flop rankings. The Brooklyn Nets actually have a much bigger piece of business to resolve before they get to Kyrie Irving, and that's obviously Kevin Durant. Look, to me, it's nice that they all got on the phone and had a conversation. They apparently couldn't have an in-person conversation when they were 94 feet away from each other in Las Vegas for Summer League. So it's cool that they got on the phone. I don't know that they have any information other than they're recognizing the reality of it's late July and nothing has changed yet. And every day we get from late July to training camp is one more day that nothing appears to be changing. So we got to make the best of it, I guess.
All right, so that's well put. So then let me rephrase the question, Friedell, or put a different way. Is there a different world in which Russell Westbrook gets traded? We've been very focused on Russell Westbrook for Kyrie Irving, and I've called that the potential of a basketball miracle that could befall the Lakers. Is there another one out there? Is there another trade that Russell Westbrook could wind up in the middle of?
Greeny, who wants Russell Westbrook? That's the saddest part of all if you're the Lakers. He's just not the same player he used to be. The guy that we saw all those years in Oklahoma City racing up and down the floor, playing within the framework of a team, he wasn't there last year in LA. So you could try to say, okay, well, it's an expiring deal. Well, the Lakers are going to have to add a draft pick or two. That's the holdup on this whole Kyrie thing, it seems. So I don't see any deal out there that puts Westbrook in a different place. And I think that's the reality that the Lakers are going to have to live with it as they get close to the regular season. Nobody wants this guy in his current form.
So, Zach, I guess that does bring up the question, if Westbrook is indeed back, if these three guys do come back together again, is there any reason to believe, with whatever other peripheral moves they may be able to make, any reason to believe it will be markedly better this season than it was last?
I think they could be better for sure because I think Anthony Davis is going to have a big year. I've said before, I think everyone has gotten too low on Anthony Davis. We only remember the most recent seasons where he played 40 games and didn't shoot the jumper well. I think he's in line for a big season if he stays healthy. That said, I don't think this team is good enough to do anything serious in the West. I think they could make the playoffs, and that's about it. The West is so good at the top. This big three does not work well enough to beat those best teams. And to answer your previous question, I do think the Lakers are looking at other alternatives, Russ trades that aren't getting them Kyrie Irving. I just don't think those trades are going to net them a player good enough to close that gap between this team and the Clippers and the Nuggets and the Suns and the Warriors and on and on and on.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.